a picture of a guide dog. White words read, sighted guide. Fade to a picture of a woman standing with her guide dog. Words read, Leslie Weilbacher. Sighted/human guide technique is a method of travel for people who are blind or visually impaired, assisted by a sighted person. American Foundation for the Blind. Sighted guide or human guide technique is a safe and efficient method of travel for people who are blind or visually impaired. This method involves a sighted person offering their arm to be held right above the elbow for the individual to follow one step behind and one step to the right. It is the guide's job to make sure their traveler does not run into obstacles or fall down steps or curbs. Offer to guide a person who is blind or visually impaired by asking if he or she would like assistance. Be aware that the person may not need or want guided help. In some instances, it can be disorienting and disruptive. Respect the wishes of the person you are with. If your help is accepted, offer the person your arm. To do so, tap the back of your hand against the person's hand. The person will then grasp your arm directly above the elbow. Never grab a person's arm or try to direct him or her by pushing or pulling. American Foundation for the Blind.
Would you like some help? Yeah, that would be great to get inside. Could I take your arm? Thank you.
When approaching a doorway, the guide should indicate what side and which direction the door is opening on. You saw in the previous clip, a very helpful Girl Scout assisted a woman using a cane into a building. She appropriately offered her arm and paused before going up the steps. As the guide opens the door, they should move their arm behind their back, cueing the person being guided to move behind their back to avoid the bumping into the door frame. The person being guided will grab the door with their free hand. That the guide informs the person being guided of where the door is, as it can swing back and hit them if they are not careful. Image of a white cane pausing at a curb. Words read, what not to do. Sometimes people can be a little overzealous in wanting to assist a person who is blind or visually impaired. Here is what not to do.
Go.
Excuse me, could you show me where the bathroom is?
Certainly.
Oh, wait, it would be better if I grab your elbow.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
No bad.
Clear that the person wanted to help, but instead of trying to drag the person who is blind or visually impaired behind you, it would be better to offer your arm. Image of a folded white cane. Caption reads, Useful situations for sighted guide technique. Human guide technique is popularly accepted as the safest, most efficient way of travel for a person with a visual impairment to walk with a sighted person. Human guide technique is appropriate for all situations, in stores, at busy street corners, and in restaurants. Clover Nook Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Fade to a street with heavy traffic. Some situations, like this very busy intersection, can be dangerous to cross for people who are blind or visually impaired when they cannot see the walk signal, and it is difficult to read the traffic when cars can freely turn onto the street. Assistance with locating items in an unfamiliar environment, such as coffee, trash cans, or water fountains. Some areas with a lot of noise might be difficult to rely on hearing, and sighted guide can come in handy to find a seat in a crowded restaurant. Situations where sighted guide technique may come in handy are things such as airport security, finding a seat in an auditorium or theater, and parking lots. That is a big one. When there's so much unpredictable movement by cars and people moving around you, it is sometimes the safer option. Stairs and obstacles. The arm position provides enough tactile information for the person being guided to follow closely the movement of the guide, avoiding obstacles, indicating verbally stairs and the direction they are going can be helpful. Image of a woman with a guide dog standing next to a woman using a wheelchair. Caption reads, "Unique situations." People with and without mobility impairments can be guides. Clover Nook Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Other situations that might be encountered would be when assistance is needed from another individual with a disability.
Excuse me, could you help me find a seat?
Sure, if you'll just reach down to your right and grab my handlebar there, I can show you. Yep,
Okay.
you just follow me.
To indicate the handlebars to the person who was blind, the person using a wheelchair gently tapped her on the arm and gave her verbal instructions. Mobility devices, white canes, and guide dogs. Sometimes the person who is blind or visually impaired may be working with a guide dog rather than a white cane. In this situation, sighted guide is performed the exact same way, except the dog is being heeled at the handler's side. This is a clip of how not to assist a person using a guide dog.
Would you like some help? Oh, that would be great. Hey, buddy, please. No, come my dog.
And so, to wrap up, it is important to remember that when assistance is asked for or accepted, that you always offer your arm and do not pull or push the person requesting to be guided. That you inform the person who is blind or visually impaired of obstacles in their way, and that you never simply abandon them without explanation. Finally, if they do not wish for assistance, that you respect their wishes and do not interfere with their methods of travel, even if it's a cute dog. Thank you to all who helped. Kinza, the helpful Girl Scout. Melissa Mitchell, editing and shooting. And Ancilla, the overzealous helper. And, of course, Gwynny the guide dog.